Is Phil recorded? I hope not.
Please don't be, holy shit. Don't, no, that's not going into the outtakes, please. Please.
I had press record, but I'm out of context. And plus, I think trying to explain to our audio listeners that the reason there was like several seconds of silence was because you had your lips puckered and your tongue out, trying to seduce Lloyd.
The big question is, did it work, Lloyd? Did it work? No, what?
So ugly! You look like a quillfish.
I was going to leave, but I dropped my fairy lights.
Right.
Oh,
Sorry about my screeching.
It's all, I think Discord. I think Discord sort of cuts off the high notes anyway, so it just you just sound like you're going some sort of like sexy turtle. I don't know. So
That's being recorded, isn't it?
I'm just not going to address Lloyd for the entirety of the podcast for turning me down.
No, come on, we need to get past this. We're professionals. We can get past the sexual tension in the room.
Professionals?
Get it on?
Sign up to be a professional.
And that, in a nutshell, is our brand. Right. Welcome, everyone, to UnCapt Gaming, the podcast of unprofessional opinions about gaming. I'm Phil Dickens, as ever, joined by Lloyd Frangos and Dale Hooper. And if you're listening to this on the day it comes out, it's not long now till Christmas. So that's what we're going to talk about. So this is our official festive Christmas special episode wherein we witter about all things Christmas. And probably some things that are not Christmas as well.
Because it's Christmas.
It's Christmas
Time.
Are you all excited for Christmas?
I don't know. I think I've reached that age where it doesn't grip me anymore.
I mean,
Bar and bug.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not unexcited, but it's just also like it's just another time of the year, but with more sparkly lights.
I love Christmas.
I'm excited to spend time with the family and really get to know.
Excited for the food.
Yeah, that's
it. I can't wait for the food. All right.
Yeah. I
have two Christmas dinners, lockdowns and stuff provided, but I get two Christmas dinners, and it's the highlight of my year. You know.
I remember that one year I came down yours after I had mine. I was so full. I was so full.
To be fair though, my mum, bless her, she piles the plate, don't she?
Yeah, she does.
It's like it's heaped and it's.
My mum does the same as well. So I was like, I was a full.
Is that like a? Yeah, mind you, when I go down, the in-laws they do it. So that must be like a Christmas thing. It's just absolutely.
Oh, any Sunday dinner, any like Sunday dinner. Yeah, I get piles of food.
My mum does as well. I haven't had a cooked dinner at my mum's in ages. I make my own cooked dinners now, and they're
baby stuffing roasties.
Well, maybe what you need is a roast dinner simulator. That's the game of 2023.
In VR, where you can like taste buds and stuff, though, it wouldn't be the same.
Yeah. Well, they did a few years. I say a few years back. It was like 20 years ago now. But I remember like they briefly introduced smell-o-vision.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they could do something. I'm not sure they'd want to, but they could.
Didn't the South Park games do that? Like for like the big collectible thing, they released like a fart smelling thing because the game like had a big fart feature. South Park, you know. I'm pretty sure they did anyway. Someone correct me if they didn't, but I'm sure I've seen that somewhere.
And if they did you buy it? And if so, why? Why?
Collector's editions, you know. Lloyd knows about them.
Loves a collector's edition. Loves a pre-order edition. This is my new Pokemon toy, and I got a pin. It came later than the game, so it was a nice little surprise in the post this morning when I got home.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, that sort of and very unneatly segues us into talking about what we've been playing this week. and games. So I don't know if, as the sparkliest one in the podcast, do you want to go first, Dale?
I wouldn't mind. Thank you, Phil, for giving me the floor. What have I been playing? I've been playing a lot of Halo. Like Halo, Infinite is so good, and I'm saying it now. A lot of those games, well, all of those games in that Game Awards was so lucky that this game wasn't released earlier, because it would. I think honestly, it would have cleaned the floor in a lot of categories. It's so good, so good. Other than that, I have actually restarted Hollow Knight because I was anticipating some Silksong news, but I haven't had Silksong news. But yeah, it's been Hollow Knight and Halo for me. No, nothing else.
Nothing else. Fair enough. And about yourself, Lloyd?
I played The Demo for Nobody Saves the World, which is a really cool little RPG style game. Kind of gives me Binding of Isaac vibes with the goofiness of it, and the you could like turn into rats' eggs and all sorts of different things, and like each character, like you level up, and then you unlock these new characters you can transform into, and then each character has like their own level, and they all have like their own little perks and like what they can do in the world and stuff. So that's a load of fun. Excited to play some more of that. Um, I've been playing some more Death's Door as well, which I absolutely love. I've just beat the first boss. I think. I've just unlocked my first like ability, which is the fire spell, and beautiful. It's really, really well made game. So yeah, that's my week. Other than that, just been working.
See, I mean, in my defense, this is this is being recorded, what, 3 days after we recorded the last podcast where I said that the games I've been playing that week were nothing. It's just because I hadn't had the chance for different things, and then in those next 3 days, I've just been spending a lot of time editing videos, including said podcast. So I still haven't actually played any video games in the last 10 days now. It feels like I'm just sort of feel myself slowly losing touch with the game world as it drifts further and further into the abyss. I mean, I'm joking, but yeah, I haven't actually played anything. Which
Come back to gaming, Phil. We have cookies.
Well, that is the intent. If nothing else, I will be on stream on Friday and Saturday. So even if I don't get to play any other games in the rest of the week, then I will have no choice but to, because that's kind of, what I do when streaming. So we shall see. But I am going to try and play more because I want to. Before the year's out, I do want to try and actually finish Tormented Souls and get a view of the full game, see what that's like. In anticipation of hopefully having more games to play as we come to the new year. I want to try and clear some of the fresher ones in my backlog. There'll be some stuff that's going to be in my backlog forever, but some of the stuff that's new that I bought this year, I want to actually finish. So hopefully, fingers crossed. But yes, I mean, speaking of new games and all of that sort of stuff, this is the time of the year, particularly when we were younger, where this was the time of the year where we get games, wasn't it? Because obviously before we were adults with our own money and like we're just unsupervised to spend money as we like without any consequences or repercussions. We had to wait till we could ask our parents for it for Christmas or birthdays. I suppose just kind of starting things off on a nostalgic kind of tone and just the most Christmassy we can get. Have you got any particular gaming memories of Christmas? Christmas is the ghost of gaming Christmas past comes to visit you. What do they show you?
Do you know, funny enough, one of my most vivid memories of gaming it must have been when I was 13, 14? Whenever Mirror's Edge come out, and I remember getting Mirror's Edge for Christmas. And do you remember those chairs that were on the floor, like a rocker chair?
Yeah.
The gamer chairs? Yeah. And you plug your headphones and everything into it, and it all plugs, yeah. I had that, Mirror's Edge, Viva Pinata, and just all the Christmas food. And I just sat there for days just playing through Mirror's Edge and Viva Pinata. And it's a weird game because, like, I don't rate Mirror's Edge as one of the best games I played, or one of the, there's probably better games I got around Christmas, but I just remember that so vividly with my little laptop on MSN, just chatting to friends.
MSN. What was your status?
I don't know. Probably some like really edgy pop punk lyric,
One of them.
Yeah, I was one of those. I was really bad for the pop punk lyrics.
Ailments.
Just have to go and find out. Like, yeah, these ones will do. This will make me look really,
But it's always, you always have to relate it to a situation that's going on. Like if you're arguing with someone, you put a lyric in there that kind of like relates to it, but not relates to it. So you have people pop up and be like, "Is everything okay?" And you're like, "Yeah, I don't want to talk about it right now."
Yeah.
The old-timey equivalent of vague booking.
Yeah.
MSN was the prototype Facebook comment. It was like, "Hey, hun, you alright?"
Yes, for the "Hey, hen, inbox me."
Yeah.
You put some edgy lyrics as your thing, and people will be like, "Are you okay?" Yeah. Yeah, that's my memory. I got loads, but that's one that instant pop out.
I think my one I had was when I got Rock Band 3, where you got the drums and everything. I was nagging for so long for this for like the full set. So I had the drums, the guitar, the microphone, everything. But right, my mum, I got it from Argos. But me being a kid, I was like all excited. She was like, "Do you need me to buy the game?" And I was like, and then so I can't remember. But when I said, she was like, "It could be in your thing." But she was like, "Do you need the game as well?" And I was like, "Nah, you don't need the game. It's with it. It comes with it. It all comes in one. You don't get the game." So I remember like opening it, ripping it all open, like building everything, and then being like, "Game." So I literally just sat upstairs, like strumming it for hours and just playing the drums with no game. I was just like, yeah, and then we went to Argos on Boxing Day, got it for cheaper anyway. So.
Funny enough, I remember coming down
Yeah,
a few days after Boxing Day to play that with you and stayed
so
over.
sick.
Made
a lot of noise, very noisy.
Very noisy.
Yeah, the drums and the worst thing was because the drums had no different sounds. It just had no it had no like rhythm or anything.
It was just tap 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 tap.
Yeah,
tap,
it sounded horrendous.
Just noise purely.
Just noise, yeah.
I mean,
what about you, Phil?
I do actually. It wasn't what I was going to mention, which I'll come on to that. But I do actually, having you mentioned that, I've got memories of. I'm struggling to remember what game it was. It was something on the Sega Mega Drive, I think. Yeah, it must have been. But it was like I'd got some. No, it wasn't. It was a PlayStation game of some description. I can't even remember what it was. But it was whatever one I'd wanted this particular year, and my mum and dad had bought it for us and put it in, and it wasn't working. And there was something wrong with the disc, no matter how many times we cleaned it. And then how old must I have been? Like 10 or something. I was bereft. Did this big thing that I've been waiting for Christmas, and I couldn't do anything. And obviously on Christmas Day, all the shops are shut, so you can't get any shit exchanges. So then it was like, well, no. Boxing Day, there must be some shops open, because it wasn't the same as now, like when it's like everything reopens immediately on Boxing Day for the sales. It was few and far between, and so it was. I think it was a Woolworths as well. So it was like there must be a Woolworths that's open on Boxing Day somewhere in the world that could exchange this thing for me. And like I want it, and like just this being like the most heartbreaking and like tense Christmas moment like ever. Like, obviously first world problems and all that sort of stuff, but just being like, oh no, I can't, it's Christmas and I can't use my presents, I can't play with it because I need to get changed. And this whole like horrible thing. But yeah, I mean the things that like always stick to me. I don't know if any news I've had this way. If you like certain games, if I ever like go back to them or play games with music that sounds similar, it sort of brings back that sort of Christmas time. Like Tomb Raider 2 is a big one for me, because that was one of the ones I got around the Christmas time and I played it to death within like the first few days of Christmas just constantly, and that music was always like, so like whenever that game came on, that instantly sort of brought me back to my old bedroom and like all that sort of stuff. And that was always the thing I remember, just like that magical feeling of being able to shut everyone out and sit and play on your console. But also, because we were talking about games from the past and being and kind of going back to games what got us into gaming, I thought that just for your benefit, I would show you this. So,
The Transformer cartridge. Is it happening?
Apologies to audio listeners. So, first of all, this is the cartridge for Sonic and Knuckles. As you can see, it's slightly wider at the top there because it has an opening wherein you take your cartridge for Sonic 3.
This is magic.
And this is a bog standard normal Sega Mega Drive cartridge, but they fit together. It's a whole extra game.
It's literally a physical DLC.
Yeah,
that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Wow.
Because
It's even got a lid. That's so cool.
I
Got a lid. That's the best thing about it.
The lid's intact. Like what? You must have preserved things as a kid.
Yeah, I was never one of those who, if I take one game out and then I put the other game in its old case, everything went back in its right case. Everything went back in its right way.
Yeah, that used to wind me up. My brother did that all the time, and you like lend him a game, and like you were horrendous for it. Yeah, and you'd like get like, so you'd be like GTA, and you'd get like FIFA, and you'd be like, I really want to play Vice City, and then you'd spend like hours just searching through these games.
The trail. Like I remember that it was like a weekly thing for me to have to go through all my games and put them back in their right things. And then there'd be that one case.
Me out.
There'd be that one case. So, for example, if I had Black Ops 2, Black Ops 2 was in the Xbox, say, but in Black Ops 2 was Dynasty Warriors, and I knew that I'd end up playing it. It'd just stay in there, and then that'd start the trend again, because I'd be like, oh, I'm not going to take it out. I'll change them eventually, and yeah, that'd start the trends of just games going downhill.
Oh no! I not only had to have everything in like the right box, but these were always things like I probably should have known things. Yeah, these are the big sort of tick list for neurodivergence, but having to make sure all the games were on the shelf in the right order. So obviously you couldn't just have like Sonic 3 and then a bunch of other games, and then Sonic. They have to be next to each other, and then that one first, and that all of this sort of stuff.
That was literally part of my weekly I have to clean everything routine. Like, I'd reorganize my room every week, and I don't know why I'd do it. And then, like, the discs would go on the shelves, and everything would be organized and sorted out. And
that's the thing. The insides wouldn't be sorted, but the outsides would, which is a great metaphor for my life.
Yeah, chaos on the inside and just...
It's a great metaphor for my life. So.
Prevents the right facade on the outside, but inside it's just chaos.
Yeah.
on the outside, I may just look calm and collected, but on the inside, everyone's screaming and stuff's on fire.
No, those like weekly episodes were horrendous. Like everything would have to be like immaculate. It was like if there was hair on the carpet or whatever, it'd like annoy me, and I just want to. Couldn't relax until.
Mine would be, I'm having a bad week on COD this week. Something's not right. So I'd move my telly. I'd get a refresh perspective.
Yin yang.
I'd set everything up good. And then I'd come on and I'd be back into my slaying ways, you know. And then it'd go back to next week where it happened again. So I'd kind of move her a little, figure out what was going wrong. Yeah. It's not
Your room
me.
Never stayed the same.
No, my room was awful. It wasn't me. It was the positioning of the telly. That's what would throw me off, you know.
Yeah, it's never It's always the game or some external factor that does it.
Or you play single player games, Phil. Sensible.
Can't do it.
I mean, you still have that moment. Them moments. I was definitely a lot more ragey as a kid with these sorts of stuff. When something had happened and I'd been not making one jump over and over again, or something really stupid, and then like there was always the sound that came up. It was never like a full on like shouting and swearing and stuff. It was just
I was bad.
I used to swear a lot. Yeah.
Very bad.
I still do.
Did you break anything in a rage ever?
I threw controllers. I used to throw controllers a lot, but I don't think I ever broke a controller.
I've broke a few controllers and I've put a hole in a wall.
Yeah, I remember the hole in the wall.
Yeah, my parents
Yeah.
didn't speak to me for a long
So, yeah.
time.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever broke. I used to throw things.
Yeah.
I pushed my
Now,
TV over a couple of times as well. I did
yeah.
that. Like
I just
even
get
when it
like,
was the chunky boys, like I used to just go around
yeah,
just
I just get like very self-deprecating now when I
yeah,
rage.
yeah.
I'm like, oh well, it's just me. I'm just awful. Oh, I wouldn't have won that anyway. Oh yeah, gee, of course he beat me. That's how I get now.
Yeah.
But back in the day, like, wah! Just throwing things and.
I've got a
Kid.
bigger tolerance for failure, I think, as well. Like like I can laugh at myself when I do something, and I can die over, hundreds of times over and keep going. Whereas that, like me as a kid, definitely would not do that. It'd just be.
Still can't.
I can now. Yeah,
I
my
can't.
rage has subsided quite a bit.
Yeah. No, I remember when I streamed unto the end, and like just I died so much in that game. It just got to a point where I was like, "Yeah, I'm not doing the stream anymore. I just don't want to do it." It just ended the stream after my
Bye.
yeah, have a beautiful time.
It's over.
But it was just such a it was a good game, but it was just so frustrating.
Yeah. Funny you mentioned games with music though, linking you back to Christmas. You know the one that gets me in Christmas, and I don't know why, because it wasn't the game that I specifically played at Christmas, but it does link to a memory, but it always gets me in that festive mood. It's Dynasty Warriors and the sound of killing people and thousands of like soldiers. It was something me and my brother used to. Just constant death just reminds me of Christmas, you know. Nah, it's something me and my brother used to do because we never used to sleep properly because excitement on Christmas. So we used to just play Dynasty Warriors, and there was another game that I can't remember, but they were like two of the games that we used to play or watch films on my PSP. You could do that. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Do you remember you could have DVDs on your PSP?
Yeah,
Actually
I
have
remember
DVDs.
there was a film about pigeons in World War II or one of the wars. And it was like an animated cartoon of pigeons being in the war. And I remember watching that a lot. I didn't know what it was.
I had
I got to search it while we're discussing. Go on.
I had Brett the Hitman Hart, his biography on DVD on the PSP.
That's
What a guy!
amazing.
Yeah, I had that, and I had something else that I can't remember. But yeah, I remember just watching that on the plane all the time.
Valiant is the film.
Ah, okay.
I remember watching that loads
yeah.
for some reason.
Mad.
Just like to see pigeons at war, you know?
Yeah, war pigeons does sound like an interesting concept. For
Yeah.
a game, actually, someone just make it like I'm imagining like a Worms style strategy game where you like get these two bands of pigeons to just slaughter
beat
each other.
That turned very mean very quick. I was like, wait, what? Ooh, we're going this way. And Halo 2 is another big Christmas one for me. Because I think a lot of my gaming Christmas memories are linked to my brother and the games we played around Christmas. And Halo 2 we beat hundreds of times just over and over on those big clunky Xbox controllers. Which don't throw those. They break a lot of things.
Is that from the OG Xbox?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had the Xbox Crystal.
Oh,
the see-through one.
Oh, you lucky boy! You lucky boy. We had the black one.
Yeah. I think we come into Xbox quite late. We were always PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
And then I think we come into Nintendo 64 and Xbox late. And I'd imagine back then that later in time those editions would have been cheap, and parents picked them up.
Yeah, my brother had an Xbox. I had the PS2, so we would always like fighting and swapping and.
See, me. There was at one point, I don't know how it ended, but me and my brother both had PS2s, and something went wrong with mine, so I swapped them.
Oh, Phil, no!
I just like when I thought I was so clever for doing it, but then somehow they figured it out. Like apparently there's deduction that like this was mine, and it led to this whole thing. You just, but like busted. But yeah.
Terrible, Phil. I don't think we can continue with the podcast if you're going to swap
Nah.
consoles like that. This is an announcement. Everyone, Phil's being removed.
Phil's being removed. I was
don't do it
thinking of buying an
anymore.
OG PS2.
Oh,
actually.
PlayStation. Sorry.
I was actually thinking of buying a PS2.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got a couple of games. Like I found Scarface, the game, and American Wasteland. And that's a great game. That was really good. And American Wasteland from Tony Hawk as well.
Ooh.
That was one of my favorite games.
I've got a load of the. I've got them literally here. Dynasty Warriors games from the PlayStation.
Really?
Yeah.
That's sick. Yeah, when we got rid of it and my GameCube as well, my mum just sold all the games. That's cool.
That for a memory.
That's the throwback. Yeah,
Dynasty
my mum
Warriors
sold all
4.
that.
And then
Games.
3 with the messed plastic because my dog got to it here. Yeah, damn. They're classic games though. I love them so much.
Yeah, 100%.
So either as an adult now, I suppose, because we don't have to. You don't grow out a Christmas list, so you can still ask Santa for stuff. Or if you were a kid, what would be on your Christmas list for games for 2021? What would you want that you don't have?
Does it have to be specifically a game?
Can I just have more time to play games?
Can I just have some Silksong news, please? Just anything, anything.
Let it go.
Anything. I can't let it go.
Can I just point out
you've got more chance of the days extended to play more games than Silksong news at the moment.
Yeah. Can I just point out though that at this point, Santa's received both of your letters. Lloyd saying I want more time in the day, and Dale saying I want news about this, and he's looking and saying, I don't think you understand what my job description is.
Well, Santa's already given it because I got like 3 weeks off work now, so
there we go.
Being like Christmas, being like feels like being back in school where you're like, oh, I can't wait for the holidays because I'm going to do nothing, and it's going to be great.
I guess the best way to like think it is like Christmas presents are the things that you want but you wouldn't necessarily buy yourself. I suppose that's the best way for Christmas. And I suppose the best way to look into it is look at my wish list.
I was literally just going to say this all on my wish list. Like growing every day.
There's a couple of games that I like. If I saw them on sale, I'd grab for myself. Silksong's actually in my wish list that I just scroll past and my heart dropped.
Gosh.
One day.
I don't know. It's just hard to decide, like, oh, I just buy it for myself if I wanted to, you know?
Yeah. I bet you, Phil, is there anything?
Yeah, I mean, on that front about, like, it being things that you don't buy for yourself, I think that it seems to be the other way around with my family. It's more like, right, pick things that you want and then don't buy them just so that we've got something to buy each other. Like, okay. But as far as games go, like, I'm just looking for the like the big ones for me are Returnal, The Pathless, and Kena Bridge of Spirits, which are 3 very different games, I think, but out of the ones that came out this year, they're the ones that I kind of... Well, Returnal came out end of last year, didn't it? But either way, they're kind of the big 3 that I thought, yeah, I want to give them a go. But for different reasons.
Can I request microtransactions off someone? Is that a thing that I can request? Because I've been itching to get back into Hearthstone, and I don't know what to buy. I don't know what's like meta and what's being played. I don't know what the cards are now. So if someone could just
that's the hardest thing about TCGs is coming in and out of them.
And the hard thing about Hearthstone is you can't buy individual cards. You can craft them, but you have to craft them from disenchanting other cards. So it gets quite expensive. So I kind of want to get back into it, but then again, my wallet's screaming at me, going, "Don't do it! It's a trap! Don't even bother."
I can draw you a card, and then I can scan it on my phone and then sell it to you as an NFT for like £2,000 if you want.
How long into the podcast was it until you mentioned the first thing about NFTs?
We've had about 100 discussions this off camera.
I'll right click and save it. To be fair, there's not many games that I want that I don't have right now. You know, like the one thing that I do want is RimWorld, and it's one of those games that I've been on the edge of buying all the time because I know it's amazing, but like I just need the excuse to play it. You know?
Yeah. Now I'm thinking about it, there is a couple. I want to buy Metroid Dread, but the thought of spending 50 quid makes me sick. Guardians of the Galaxy is another game I want to play. I really want to play that. Obviously, it won Narrative of the Year at the Game Awards. I really want to play that. And James Gunn. What's his name? What's the director guy for Guns? I've got his name. It is James Gunn, isn't it?
For Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. He's playing it now as well. So he was pictured with the new X, the Guardians of the Galaxy Special Edition Series X, which looks really pretty.
The Series X Special Editions look amazing.
They do look amazing. Oh, that's another thing I want is a PS5. Can someone buy me a PS5, please, so I don't have to spend £600 or however much it is, please? Thank you.
Go on, just spend 550. It might be. Go on, just buy a Christmas present for yourself.
Why spend it? Have no games to play.
There are games to play.
I'm joking.
Negative Nelly. We
dropping
just
a thing.
humbug there. And
I do want a PS5. I think that'd be one of the things that I kind of want genuinely.
Yeah. I don't want to spend the money.
But my issue with getting a new console now that I have a PC is I don't know what, other than exclusives, I don't know what there wouldn't be a game that I'd buy on my, say, PlayStation 5 over my PC now if I had the option.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'd be like,
is there?
But I guess
I was going to say is that because you know the way like with the Series X is like Gold Dust, same as PS5, but you can get the Series S quite easily.
Yeah.
Is it the same with the PS5 digital edition, or is that also?
It's both of them.
Yeah,
they're restocking both as they go, and it's like just
would you
release the load? Like,
I personally think I'd just buy the digital now.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I don't think I'd buy a disc.
I think
the
two main incentives for the disc version are one, if you're the kind of person who likes having physical copies of games, which I think I probably fit into.
Yeah, collecting them.
And then the other is if a PS4 and PS4 games that are getting a PS5 upgrade or things that came out as PS4/PS5 and you can get the free upgrade, but you need to insert the disc. You can't just... You either need to have the digital copy or to have the disc that you can insert, but you can't. So if you've got a disc and you've got the digital edition, you don't get the free upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I'm not like, I don't know. I quite like having physical. I'm a sucker for a steelbook. If anyone knows me, but like I don't care about physical. Like the Switch. Like for example, like I was obsessed with like at the beginning with having the like idea of physicals. So like the big games you'd play like Super Smash, Mario Kart, all those types of games that like the party games you play on the Switch and stuff, Pokemon's. I was kind of like, I really want the physicals, but now I'm just like,
I was like that at first, and then then I just turned around and I was like, I think this is going to be my digital console. I'm just going to get everything digitally because it's just easier, especially with it being portable. Like I remember as a kid, having the big, chunky Game Boy SP case, full of games, and I lost it. Because I take it around with me everywhere, and I lost that, and that's heartbreaking. And having a portable console and having games just downloaded to it is so much easier.
But do you think as well? I know obviously that, but do you think like things like do you know like Samsung have got the little tags on iPhone, Apple have got them now? They would make that a little easier. The locator things you can attach to the keyring.
What, to my games?
To like your case of games.
Oh, I mean, I suppose. Yeah, I see what you mean. Sorry, I suppose so. But like, I don't like. I mean, I've got my Switch. I've probably
if you like collecting games and you like portable devices, it's an option. Just saying.
Yeah, no, it's a good idea actually. I wish 11-year-old me had that back then.
Yeah, we were Yeah, it was a tough time 10 years ago.
It was a tough time.
I think
Sometimes.
the
We were
choice
out there
between
It was
fighting.
even worse for Phil's day.
yeah, oh god, don't even
He had
get me started.
he had Transformer games, you know.
That was pure innovation. But I think that choice is a lot easier now though, because I remember like you're just thinking about it. PS3, if you buy the digital stuff, you've still got that thing of like you need to delete any ones that you're not using. And then if you want to play it, you have to reinstall it, and that takes however long. So you've got that choice of which, but you still have to install the disc versions of any games from PS4 and PS5 now. So you don't have the thing in PS3 where it was like, well, if I've got the physical copy, I don't need to worry about installing. I just put the disc in and go, and I can play whatever game whenever without any delay. So physical copies made more sense. Whereas now it's just like, well, either way, I've got to control storage and download and install.
Is that because physical games now just download the game? So is it like a
They don't download the full game. They download like
it's to make it run smoother. Yeah, it's to make it run smoother.
Oh, okay.
Because they're not reading they're not reading off the disc as much, so they run a lot smoother.
Okay.
And especially now with all the like no loadings and things like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
because they're all running off SSDs now. I think most consoles.
They've all got proper solid state drives.
State drives now, yeah. So that be why they do it. But yeah, I don't personally see like it looks nice when you've got like a big shelf full of because like obviously I'm the same with like comics and stuff as well. Like I like my comics there, but like yeah, it looks nice, but it's like space, convenience, and downloading and stuff. And do you know what? I'd rather like have loads of SD cards from a Switch or something.
Yes, it's also nice because that's the point. It's nice.
Yeah, nice.
Like no, do you know? Like I think we brought it up either last podcast or the podcast before about trading in games to buy new games. Like I wish I didn't have that option as a kid because I'd have loads of games.
Yeah.
Looking at my Xbox One, I switched it on the other day and I've got like 300 games that I've purchased in sales and stuff like that. I can just download now and they're just there. Like, okay, it's a bit beaten up and it doesn't work as well no more, but you know?
Yeah. The only downside I think to digital is like the market's being controlled a lot by like say Sony, for example, who was using 70 quid games and stuff. And like Nintendo, like they don't down their physical games, but just using them as an example, like
haven't Nintendo been doing more and more sales on their own games? Yeah. So I suppose
it's like if I'm buying like a I don't know 10-year-old game for like 70 quid,
what's the
would
point?
you really want to do that? Do you know what I mean? Whereas like you can go to a second-hand shop and do it with a disc.
Yeah.
I don't
go
know.
to your local sex.
Yeah. Sex.
Is it sex or kex?
Sex, I think.
Yeah, it's CEX, which anyone who's not in the UK listening to this would just be like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
I'm going to sex to buy some games.
Gonna go get some games at sex. Wait, what games?
Doesn't that stand for like Computer Entertainment Exchange or something like that?
No idea.
I think
it does. I don't think they just plucked CEX out of nowhere. Or maybe they did. Maybe they just like
they knew what they were doing.
We just want our shop to be called Sex.
Damn, I didn't know
that.
Good store
though.
Oh, we were talking about this yesterday when we were like the virtual sort of room collectible thing as well. Actually, it came up in my head then.
We were talking about NFTs, weren't we? Back to the big old subject. It's loot crates and microtransactions all over again.
I was going to say, before we go on to anything to do with NFT, or to divert from that tangent, while we're still technically on Christmas lists and Christmas games, did you ever get... Because I was thinking about this when in B&M earlier and looking through, like there's an aisle that's got all like headsets and controller docks and stuff, but it also had like there's like a PlayStation mug with the like where the handle is a Sony PlayStation controller, which is just so big and bulky and garish for no reason, and like a little Xbox sort of light thing and all this sort of stuff. Did you ever get or Not necessarily did you want, because I'm sure I never asked for any ever. But did you ever get like accessories like this game, like because
Yeah.
parents or whoever were like, oh well, he's into computer games, and this is a computer game thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on, let's go.
I was like, my mum is horrendous for it. Like, it's not games, but like, I remember like when she realized I was into like comics and stuff. Like, everything I had was comics. I had like comic book based notebooks. I had stationery from like Marvel. I had like mugs and all sorts of like just stuff. She's horrendous for it. So like, yeah, like I love her. She's a great woman. Before she beats me. But
Gotta put that disclaimer in there.
yeah, just put the disclaimer. But like, yeah, I always got like gimmicky stuff for whatever I was into that year. Like Batman stuff. This is my buy because it's stylish, obviously. But yeah, she's
Yeah. I think I did, but I'm quite lucky in that my dad's a gamer. Big game, 99 in all skills in RuneScape. Now he keeps pointing out. I know, Dad, I'm proud of you. You have done amazing. It's a massive achievement. My mum has a good understanding of games as well because we grew up gaming loads, you know. So I think I'm pretty lucky in that respect. The gimmicky stuff they bought, I kind of would use anyway.
Yeah.
You know, like they used to buy me like I don't know if you remember the Control Freaks sticks to extend your sticks, which give you better movement and better aim and stuff. I think they used to buy me like that kind of gimmicky stuff.
Yeah,
but they were actually really good. Like I used to use them quite a bit. The Control Freaks, and I knew a lot of people who used them. Like they gave me my Scuff controllers, but I'm not sure if that's like a gimmicky thing. I think that's more of a bigger present. But I guess it was more relatives that did that. Like, can you remember the posters that were like, a gamer lives here? They're probably slaying zombies, shooting, raging, and please do not enter.
The novelty T-shirts and stuff like that. I mean, not that I don't think I ever got any of the novelty T-shirts, and it's part of me that wishes I did. but yeah, there was always something like that. It was just like, it was definitely a how do you do fellow kids sort of vibe. Just like going to like a shop and go, this is pretty much just a live, laugh, love, but just with live, laugh, game.
It is the live, laugh, love of gaming. Oh no. That's amazing. I'm gonna buy one of those for the background. It's gonna go next to that Jurassic Park thing, and we're gonna have one of those like gamer lives here. Enter at your own discretion.
I think there was definitely something like that in B&M. It was like a background light was like gaming in progress. Which was like, and the worst part is for a hot minute I was standing there looking and going, should I?
Is this a thing?
I'm thinking of doing that for my phone. So do you know, like, you can send the automatic messages on like WhatsApp and stuff, and be like, and then like when someone tries to get hold of you, be like, sorry, I'm gaming right now.
But
doing nerd stuff.
I tell you what, clothing is something that they used to get me quite gimmicky things of. That's thinking of that, yeah. But my mum would find really amazing t-shirts. Like she'd buy Pokemon stuff, but you know, like you imagine like a Pokemon t-shirt being Pikachu or the Pokeball or stuff like that, you know? No, my mum would find t-shirts with like Arceus on there and like a Pokeball that's the Death Star and stuff, and it's like, yo, Mum, this kind of slaps. Like, what?
My mum tried to be stylish, I think.
Yeah, no, I'd have whatever.
Yeah, that never worked.
Yeah, and the other, like, bringing us into the more modern. I don't know if you saw they released the like faceplates for the PS5, which are great, obviously, for if you've got a PS5, like I do. But like, I mean, obviously they're 50 quid, and there's enough of me going, no, that's a ridiculous purchase. Don't do that. But there's also part of me that goes, well, how cool would a black PS5 look?
It would look sick.
Yeah,
pretty good.
I mean, I like the way, if I got it black though, then I'd have to get the black skin for the controller, the black version of the headphones, and it'd be a whole thing. So it cost far more than 50 quid as well. So I'm not doing it. None of that's happening. But
what did they call them? Is it something like hype plates or something like that?
Oh, there was different like different brands, weren't there?
Yeah, no, because they sued like all those brands or something, didn't they, and shut all them down to release their own really bad ones.
If it's Sony, it's probably exclusive plates or something.
Yeah, for the players exclusively from us.
Yeah, exclusively for PS5.
What E3 was that when we realised that Microsoft stopped with the exclusives and then PlayStation
I think
were
it was like the last one.
we're for the players exclusively on our consoles. Like that's
it was when we were
that's
writing
not for the players.
It was when we were writing the blog.
Yeah, that's when we were doing UnCapt one.
Again.
We were noticing the hypocrisy from them.
Yeah,
it was like we're for everyone, but only if you got a PlayStation.
PlayStation 5. Yeah, it's in the game.
Jeez.
It's in the console.
It's EA Sports. That's a flashback. Damn.
EA Sports only on PlayStation 5.
They can take EA.
Sorry, Sony. Please don't sue us.
Yeah, please don't sue us. We do love you.
Yeah, we dig at Sony. Sony.
Yeah, I dig at Sony because I'm more of an Xbox. I have amazing PlayStation memories. I'm sorry. It's flitting, you know?
Yeah, it's flitting.
If you want to send me a PS5, you can send me a PS5.
We both want one for Christmas, so you know.
It's on our wish list.
Santa Claus.
Yeah, we'll write to what's his fate, the head of Sony, and go like, look, if you win over Dale and Lloyd by getting a PS5, then everything changes.
At least one person may get it off their recommendation. We can't promise, but at least one.
Yeah. If you could spare a second, I know things are hard at the moment.
Yeah, excuse me, we are here. We are desperate to sell out.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I will just as soon as I become an NFT shiller. I'm joking. I'd never do that.
Oh, why do you keep bringing it up?
Because every time I say it, I see Phil's eyes just go, just flare, and it's just amazing. I love
it's
it.
It's gonna be like red water going up his cam shortly.
It's like the Lilo and Stitch image, you know, when he draws how angry he is with the red marker, and every time NFT comes up, Phil gets angrier and angrier.
And then it just like reaches a certain point, and then like a 3-hour-long anti-capitalist rant goes off while you like, and the podcast just gets completely derailed.
He just snaps and he becomes the purple devil head emoji. We need to edit that in.
Yeah,
somewhere.
So that's our Christmas list. Yeah, well,
it was a tangent list. We had to get it out for this year.
We did. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in there. I think it's talking about, because this is the thing, when Christmas it's always a mixed bag, and you get games and then you get all the random other stuff as well, and you get socks and underwear, which you learn to appreciate as you get older. Like just
yeah.
And you go like, right, I don't have to buy my own underwear. I can just wait for Christmas.
Someone said to me the other day, they were like, "Would you be happy if I bought you boxes?" And I was like, "Yeah, as long as they're Primark ones." God.
Primark boxes as well. Like, do you know, growing up, there had to always be like Calvin Klein boxes and stuff, and like now it's like, bro, get me some Asda boxes, and I'm hyped. Like, I will be happy for about
your favorite
a month until there's some holes. Like,
after a month, what did you do?
It was a joke. I don't know. I run a lot. Okay, I don't.
There's substance in that joke.
I don't take care of boxes. I'm sorry. I'm not a good.
When he scratches his arse, he goes hell for leather.
Oh no, I don't. I don't like that. Ew, no. Ew. Yeah.
Disgusting.
But yeah, no. If there are any kids listening, underwear and stuff for Christmas is an amazing thing. When there's all the jokes about your parents getting underwear and socks for Christmas, it's like, oh, some more socks. They actually love it. It's incredible.
And Lynx Africa as well.
Oh, Lynx for Christmas. Oh,
I've got boxes of the stuff.
There was definitely a point at which like you do that, and then you don't have to buy anything to wash yourself with, or anything like to like wear underneath your clothes for at least half a year, because the stuff that lasts.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, I'm starting to run out of aftershave and body wash now, so I should probably buy stuff myself.
Oh, fuck
I was
God.
I was lucky this year with aftershave. My aftershave run out about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. So it's like, oh, I might as well just wait now.
Yeah, I bought myself in the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 70 quid bottle for like 40 quid. It was gassed.
Oh, fair. I'm a big fan of like Blue Jean, and that's really cheap. It's like my childhood one, and I still love it. It's like £15 a bottle, and you find it at B&M now, so I'm like happy.
My favorite bit was like they had the EU and the non-EU price tags on the beer, right? And then I went up to the counter and they charged me the EU price because it was a bit more expensive. I was like, no.
No.
Little sorry tangent there.
We should be called Untangent or
And tangent, yeah.
Tangent, just the podcast.
I mean, there's nothing wrong. I think people, if we stuck to topic rigidly, people would be disappointed and they'd be like, well, hold on. You just talked about what you said you were going to talk about. Where's all these insights into things that I never knew I wanted to hear about?
Yeah. Well, I need to ask, and it's bugging me, for viewers of who are listening, in the background, Phil has a poster, and there's a Martian on there. What is the Martian's name? Is it just Martian?
Marvin the Martian.
Marvin. Okay. It's been bugging me because I remember that cartoon as a kid, and I was just been looking at it now going,
What cartoon is it?
it's Looney Tunes, right?
Yeah,
It's
I was
Looney
gonna
Tunes.
Yeah, because this makes me very angry.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. Tangent number 7.
I'm not getting jail for Christmas.
So yeah, that's Christmas. Before, I mean, Christmas obviously is not only that time of year where we talk about things that we want, presents and everything else, but it's also obviously coming towards New Year as well, and this will be the last UnCapt episode of 2021 because, well, we're not releasing an episode for Christmas Day because we imagine you have got better things to do on the day. Eat 2 Christmas dinners in a row if you're Dale or whatever else.
I'd like to point out Lloyd shook his head there, so Lloyd believes that there's nothing better to do on Christmas other than listen to us.
Bigging myself up. It's a bit of marketing, alright? Shut up.
Oh, sorry. Degrees coming in. I'm the controversy one.
Yeah.
Let me throw the controversy.
You're the controversy one. Are we going to go with that?
However,
this is the English student here.
Yeah.
I don't do English, okay?
if we are on the last official episode of the year, then I think the obvious question that flows from that is, what were your highlights of 2021 in terms of games, gaming, events, anything around the world of video games?
This is quite a hard one because I've kind of only played games the past 3 weeks. Really? This year?
I think a highlight would be my first 24-hour stream, my charity one. That was this year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Rise. Rise came out this year, yeah. Raising money for special effects. But it's also Rise, because a lot of my friends got back together and we were all chatting about hunting, the hunting monsters now, and that was a big one. And even though the games died off, the New World release, and it was a bit of a mixed release with the queues and stuff, but staying up for I practically stayed up for 30 hours one day just playing with friends and just chatting absolute wait, are we swearing on the podcast? Absolute shit into the night, and just it was something that I missed. I've not had that for quite some time, just staying up chatting just nonsense just while doing menial stuff in games. It's been a while since I've done that. Those two stand out quite a lot.
Well, I mean, we'll come back in a sec to the Monster Hunter and also the 24-hour stream, because I think there's some things we're talking about for viewers and listeners who might not know. But New World, like you mentioned, it does seem from the outside like it was a bit of a flash in the pan. Big moments, everyone waiting for it, everyone queuing up, all this talk about it, lots of people streaming on it, certainly the first week and stuff, loads of YouTube videos, all this stuff, and then it just disappeared. Is that your experience?
Yeah, I mean, I played it for about a week, maybe 2 at a stretch, and it died very quick for me. I'm very easily bored with games, so I knew going into it I was not going to be playing it for long. I mean, Elder Scrolls was the longest I've lasted in an MMO, and that was because I could like kind of switch off and play, you know. But yeah, it was a huge flash in the pan. I wouldn't be surprised if it does gain a bit more life soon with some DLC and stuff. I'd go back to look at DLC or new things and new worlds and stuff. Maybe new weapons if they bring them out. But yeah, it was a flash in the pan. But it was a lovely flash in the pan. It was really nice. It brought a lot of people back to why they game and for the social aspect. Why they game and play, the friends they met along the way, and it was quite nice for that.
So I know we're not reviewing it, but verdict.
I'd probably give it like a 6, maybe 7 out of 10. It wasn't an incredible game. I'm sorry. It was a good enough game, but I think it was the hype wave and everyone being on with it that carried that game a bit too far, Which there's nothing wrong with that, but it was maybe a 6, 7.
So
yeah,
fairly competent game.
Fairly average. Yeah, it just didn't do anything to keep me, Didn't do anything to keep me. And I don't think it helps. I think everything's against it now because we live in a kind of like a gaming world now where you need to know everything before playing the game. There's this need to know everything about a game before you start, and it's like that ruins a lot of things because a lot of things they have in there would have been nice to experience as it goes on. And there's a complete lack of narrative. Like, there is a narrative there, but I could not even tell you one character or one thing that we were doing in that world that was relevant. I couldn't.
It just felt like, I couldn't. From what I played of it just felt like a bunch of kind of go here, do this, come back.
There was 2 quest types in the game. Yeah, it was go here, find these items, or go here, kill 8 of these, and that's it.
Yeah,
that's it. And you can't have that.
Yeah, it kind of tried to run before it could walk, sort of thing, and just fell flat on its face. I think the hype didn't help either.
No.
By contrast, you played Monster Hunter Rise for 24 hours straight on stream. And I mean, I saw you at the end, like you were very, very tired. But that was the thing I wanted to kind of come back to. I think is worth mentioning. I mean, we talked about streaming on the podcast before and how it affects how we game and stuff like that, which is kind of its own topic, and most gamers obviously aren't streamers, and that world is kind of separate from how gaming and stuff like that, and it's got its own weird politics and stuff. But I think the important thing there is obviously you did that and you managed to raise a fair bit of money for Special Effect, who are, so if anyone's like the American equivalent is Able Gamers, like basically charity for helping more people access games if they're particularly am I right in saying it's particularly for physical disabilities where they need controller adaptations and stuff like that?
I think so, yeah. I think that's what I've seen mostly, but I think they do work on other things, or at least they advocate for non-physical stuff.
Yeah, it could be like sort of hearing.
Yeah.
It is a very
wonderful
thing. Yeah.
They're an amazing company. Oh, charity.
Mm.
You call them charity, not a company, when you
charities.
Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, for anyone who's listening on all those places than YouTube, we obviously we made a video a little while back where we talked about accessibility and how it intertwines with game difficulty and all this sort of stuff. And we did give a special mention to special effects, and because there's some of the work, like accessibility has become more and more of a conversation. It's something more games it's good to see are putting in. So if anyone does the thing, alternative Christmas card scheme where you ask people to donate money to a charity instead of give you cards, I know that's the thing, then feel free to consider special effects. We'll put a link in the description because the they are worth your support and your time to check out if you can.
Mhm.
And I think
Yeah.
one more point on them is like I remember when we went to EGX back in 2019. They care. Like
Yeah.
I remember speaking to I can't
Oh,
remember
they
her
do.
name, but she was absolutely lovely.
Mhm.
Like she cared and like I can't remember what we were speaking about, but I think we were mentioning like we were wanting to help, and she was like, yeah, it's like it's really great to see people get on board, and like she was so passionate about it all.
Mhm.
She went through all the like controllers with us and stuff, and like it was just so nice to see people that actually like care about this stuff. And
Yeah. Funny enough, I was literally going to dive into that as you were saying it, but one
yeah,
one of the things that took me aback is when because you were the same, Phil. When you were your 24 hour, it was you hit a milestone, so you were gonna do the 24 hour as a kind of like a celebration and a thank you. And like I knew I wanted to do it for a charity, and we said, didn't we, when we were at
yeah,
EGX or wherever it was, that we wanted to do something for them. Regardless, it's something we were going to do for them. So I emailed them, and they got back to me, and one of the things is make sure you take care of yourself when you're doing this 24 hour. Like
mm,
I don't know why, but like I thought they'd be like, oh yeah, this is how you could do it. We can
yeah,
provide this, blah blah blah. But they were very very um wary on the toll that it can take on you, the
yeah,
24 hours. And they were very, make sure you're looking after yourself. We have tips, drink water, this, that, they were amazing. Absolutely just incredible. Such a caring group of people.
Mm.
I dropped my lights.
round of applause for special effects.
Yes.
I'm trying to wrestle with lights.
No, absolutely. I mean, and that's why I wanted to mention it, because I thought if I mention the highlights, I think being able to do something like that and for such an important cause is something that's worth highlighting. Sorry, I'm just slightly mesmerised for anyone listening, audio listeners, to Dale currently unraveling the lights behind his head because
You made a mistake.
they fell on him.
You made a mistake.
It's truly something to behold.
I got rid of them. It's fine.
So, what about you, Lloyd? Any highlights for the year as within the gaming world?
Right, this was at the beginning of the year. Was that the beginning of the year or was that? I don't remember. I think it was
Wait,
this year.
what was at the beginning
Little
of the year?
Nightmares.
Oh,
Oh,
Little
it's at the
Nightmares,
beginning of this
yeah.
year, wasn't it? Probably up there, love playing that game. Don't being able to like realize kind of for me like that I need to play more games because like the past 3 weeks I've had so much fun. Like playing Death Store, I keep mentioning it. It's a brilliant game. Go buy it. But yeah, it was just like it was like I kind of realized that I didn't like it was the first time that I've sat down and played a game in like probably a year or two now, where I've sat down and just lost track of time. Like I can't remember the last time I did it, so that was a really nice feeling. Uh, yeah, so that's probably up there just for that experience. And like realizing there's some great games out there in the indie world as well. Starting the YouTube channel and getting that going, and sorting out games that like I probably wouldn't have looked at if I didn't start it because of time and stuff. And yeah, I think those were my highlights. I think, and I'm hoping to get those really kick-started and stuff in the new year, especially with these 3 weeks off now. So yeah, that's probably my highlight. I haven't really done much this year. It's kind of been a waste. Been a bit of a crappy year, but yeah. On to the future.
The future is bright.
The future is bright.
What about you, Phil?
I mean, this year has been. I think it's fair to say it's had its ups and downs for me personally. I mean, like yourself, I did obviously the 24-hour charity stream, and mine wasn't. Mine was for cancer charity because like my wife had a really bad scare when we were, and until she got the all clear, the waiting for that was just absolutely agonizing, and it was definitely a stressful, awful time. So it was, I think, being able to do that sort of thing and do something which is horrendous in terms of like, you know, that I think she ended up taking over the stream for like half an hour or so while I just sort of splashed water on my face towards the end when I was like on the verge of just falling asleep on stream. But like I think that there was a catharsis that being able to like raise so much money and like have like that amount of support for something like after such a horrible experience. And I think that that's probably the biggest takeaway for me is that the as much as you get all the stuff like, you know, people talk about like, and you see it like over things like console wars and your Gamergate and all these other sorts of toxic things.
Wait, Brett. I thought you was going to say the 3 letters. Sorry.
No, I'm not going to mention the things that shall not be mentioned. But as much as there's that reputation of toxicity, there's also the like community of like really supportive people who will chip in and support good causes and support each other, and you build friends out of it and all that sort of stuff. And I think that's probably the biggest thing is like that positive out of it. I mean, I'd stress that these are obviously not the same people. There's no overlap between the knobheads and the good ones. But when you find the good ones and you find that community, you're not that kind of knobhead, Dale. You're our knobhead. But yeah, I think that it is one of those sorts of really heartwarming things, I think. And isn't that what Christmas is all about?
Oh, what a lovely way to like round that off. Oh.
Yeah, so I think that was quite a happy thing. Like, obviously, that's not related to specific games because I don't think I played anything new doing that. But yeah, that was just, I think, probably my favourite things. And I also can't believe it was this year because this year felt like it's gone on for 3 years.
Yeah, it's dragged.
Yeah.
It has really dragged.
Been a weird year. But we're interested to know what you guys are thankful for this year. And I suppose not just in the gaming world, but if it's gaming related, kind of matches, you know? You want to let us know what you've been...
Dad.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Grateful for my mum.
My dad.
My dad.
Brother, my sister.
Grateful for Jesus.
Grateful for my religion.
Yeah, I think with everything going on with the pandemic and stuff, it's easy to get swallowed by negativity and not look at the good things. There have been some good things this year. I think gaming's been one of them, definitely.
Yeah,
you know, it's kept people together.
Yeah.
I think that point you made earlier about like with New World, although it wasn't the greatest game, the fact that it brought people together and stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's it's good to have a way to get together like virtually that doesn't involve Zoom calls or meetings. It's just like, you know, playing games, having fun, and something more positive than all that garbage.
Yeah, right. It gets a lot, you know, but it's, you know, gotta hold on to the good things in gaming.
Yeah, man.
As in life.
Like the fact that we're not going to get another Dynasty Warriors 9. I got it in there. I got it in there.
We're getting Empires, though.
Are we getting 9 Empires?
Yeah.
I lied to you all. It's a horrible year.
It's not next year.
It's the end. Oh, next year's going to be even worse.
No, next year and I mean, on the next episode of the podcast, we will talk in more depth about what we're anticipating for 2022 and the things we're looking forward to. But I think I will say, like, it's definitely, from a video game perspective at least, it's going to be a good one.
Oh, it's going to be a banger.
Oh, it's going to be a good one, isn't it?
It's going to be a good old banger. Banger the mesh.
Good old banger.
Likes a bit of bangers mesh, me.
Do you actually? Oh, a bit of bangers mesh.
It's alright, yeah, it's alright. Salt and pepper. Bam, sorted.
No, a bit of gravy. I like a bit of gravy.
Yeah, great gravy.
Bit of gravy.
Salt and pepper. Salt and pepper.
Yeah,
on top of the gravy.
On top of the gravy, yeah, definitely.
Top of the gravy.
Well,
on top of the gravy. Yeah,
I will apologise to anyone listening who is even vaguely like London or, for whatever the hell accents those were.
Sparkle Kai.
So before we wrap up what has been, I think probably the most odd episode of this show, and that's
Probably
saying
emotional.
something odd, but hopefully cheerful and optimistic, I think. But anything as far as the news goes, any things that you want to bring up and talk about?
Or lack thereof news. Of course I do. Silksong devs, just please, are you okay? Is everything okay? Are you well? Like, I don't mean that sarcastically. I just want to make sure you're all fine in the development. You're all good. You're all healthy and
He doesn't
staying.
care. He just wants to.
I do actually. I want to know if they're good. The game's going to be good, okay, Lloyd? So there's ulterior motives to this, but I just need something. Just tell me. I just need a dev to tweet and be like, "Yeah, was working on Silksong today. I'm feeling very good." That's it. That's it. I just know this stuff's still happening. You know?
Do you follow the dev on Twitter or anything?
I don't think so.
That's probably why you haven't seen it.
Yeah, probably.
They've probably been tweeting for like months and months and months.
Probably like dev update every single day. And I
Yeah,
just miss it
personal
all.
DM me, please.
Yeah. Just want to know that you're good, you know? So that's my non-news of the week.
What about yourself, Lloyd?
We've got another AAA game company coming our way. Another AAA game, guys. We need more.
Is it the doc himself?
What's that?
Is it the doc himself?
It's the Doc Disrespect. Yeah, he's making up a game studio made of Halo and COD veterans.
Ooh.
Um,
This is getting me excited. Not gonna
yeah.
lie.
What are we expecting? I got a feeling FPS.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
He's gonna make. I think if I had to guess, it's gonna be a BR. With a competitive edge. There's going to be a competitiveness to the game. He sees this. It's hard to not look at like how Valorant has exploded. Halo's now doing it, and he's like well interested in Halo. The way that he's looking, I think it's going to be a competitive FPS, probably with a BR. And I can see there being support for the competitive scene, which is something that not a lot of games. Well, no, a lot do actually now. Except Call of Duty. What are you doing? Like, you have a good scene there. Support it. Sorry, I've hijacked your news article for my own agenda here.
That's fine.
Carry on.
But yeah, he's he literally says in here, what is it? Midnight Society, which is the name of the new company, is a killer team of veteran AAA talent that lives, breathes, and sleeps in the realm of PvP multiplayer. It's turning tables upside down in the game industry with a new kind of game studio and publisher model over a decade in the making.
Who knows? All the best of them.
Yeah, I've got nothing wrong. Do you think it's a statement to say they're AAA from the off?
Yeah,
we're AAA.
Yeah, that's a big statement.
That's a big statement, I think.
But I'd imagine they'd have the money behind them to be.
Yeah. He's got to be worth a pretty penny, haven't he?
I don't know if talent is something to nicely say there, because there's a lot of talented devs in the indie scene, but
yeah, I think it's a different.
AAA is defined by the budgets and the size of the team,
so,
and the size of the product they put out, mostly, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
we don't know how big it is. We don't know how big this is, so
they got the experience there, definitely.
Yeah, it could be huge, and it's going to grow as well, because it could be like a core team of like those Halo and COD veterans who are then hired underneath them, and all the rest of the boring businessy stuff that goes on in gaming studios. We don't care. We just want games.
We want bad games.
But yeah, it says one of the studio's priorities, including communities and influencers, much earlier in the development process as well.
This is going to be a good thing, because he understands from a streaming point what makes a good game for viewers.
Yeah.
And he knows how to listen to the viewers, and like he understands complaining about a game and nothing being done about the game.
Yeah.
Because you two are mainly kind of single player, right?
Yeah.
Dabbles in multiplayer, but like
now and again.
There can be a big disconnect between gamers and the studio, because multiplayer games, they're constantly evolving, they're constantly being updated. Like in shooters, for example, a gun might be overpowered, so they might look at balancing it. Balancing and stuff like that happens a lot. And if they're not listening to the community, they're going in with a very weird, kind of almost scuffed way of looking at what's broken, what's unbalanced, what's not working. But
You know what's surprisingly, and like I say, this is not something I've got direct experience with myself. It's more something I'm aware of just from watching things on YouTube. But as far as a game company and game directors and stuff who listen to the fans and working with them to develop upgrades and improve games and stuff, there seems to be an awful lot around that. Doom Eternal in particular, and the director of that, because there's like a few channels like I watch occasionally and talking about things, and they're always talking about different aspects of the game and the upgrades and stuff like that, and then also talking about how I can't remember this guy's game name for the life of me because that's something I'm telling about names, but like when he does sort of announcements and casts, he clearly listens to the community about what they're wanting and stuff like that, and responds to these like big channels with big communities who are talking about Doom Eternal and what they want from it.
Yeah,
and then like the updates seem to reflect that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's. I think it's very. I forgot what I was going to say there. It's very like prevalent in the like FPS or like that competitive community, you know. And they need to listen. So it's going to be a very, very, very good thing from that point of view.
Like going off that, it was quite interesting what you said about being competitive as well. If he goes into esports as well, into the esports scene, like that's going to be huge because I know like the COD League, like watching that, how badly presented it is. Let's just say. So like to be able to, and you said about like watchable, and he knows what's watchable for it because his stuff is very like overproduced, his streaming and everything. So like having that talent already, even just through Doctor Disrespect himself, never mind the people that are going to come in and help out with that. It's like I can imagine it now. It's going to be like big and booming. Like if he does come into that scene.
So it's not just Doc as well. It's the people around him.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like he's got that talent there, and
I think I'm speaking more about the streamers rather than the talent. Is where I was going with that. Is like you have like Tim the Tatman, another massive one. I'm pretty sure there's like I think Nick Merckx. I'm not sure who he like streams with in total. Like Zelander.
Yeah,
they're all massive streamers, and the community reach he has already is.
Oh yeah, it's insane. It's insane.
You know what I mean? So I think it's gonna do well.
Yeah,
you know.
Don't say too early, but like
it's got all the foundations there for a great thing.
Yeah, and well, they've got the job listings. You need 5 years of experience. That hurts reading that because that's like as entry level people.
There is no such thing as an entry level. Entry level is you've had experience from somewhere for 5 years, like because you couldn't afford to do an unpaid internship, or you know someone, or both. And it's in everything. That's not just to go work in a call center. This is a separate gripe, but yeah.
Who knows? They could switch it to bring more.
I think this is more because, like I said, we don't know what the size of the studio is at the moment.
It might be.
So it could just be to start that setup and then they'll expand. I can't imagine.
I suppose if you bring a bunch of unexperienced people in at the foundation,
it'll just be
not work that well.
You need a structure, and I think that's what they're slowly going to do. Because I doubt, especially with the gripe around the job market at the moment, in terms of like those people just coming into the industry, I doubt they're gonna want to not include them in their job. List. But
I mean, that's the thing is they listen, innit? I mean, that's a streamer's job.
Yeah, it was announced 22 hours ago, so it was obviously based off those listings. So we don't know what. Yeah, I'm excited. I want to see.
I'm very excited. You know.
Yeah. But his real name suits him. Yeah.
I hope he doesn't bring his controller bias in and makes a game that uses controller. You know, don't leave us aim assist kids out. We need aim assist sometimes, you know. Okay, it's broken in some situations, but please let us play. I doubt they'd thing, but yeah.
That's my news.
Good news. Sorry, it was something that I'm passionate about. I was like, oh yeah.
Nah, it's cool. It's cool. Philip?
I'm trying. I don't think there's anything else that I can. I'm woefully unprepared for this section. Because I
As is our brand.
no, but there didn't seem to be anything else. Like I was
Quite weak.
just
Christmas.
kind of scrolling through the. Oh, hold on! I tell a lie. Something just seems to have just freshly popped
Letters.
up.
Gonna be the letters.
It's the letters, the 3 letters.
No. It's even better. So,
Is it 4 letters?
so apparently North
Little
America
letters.
has its first video game union at Vodio Games.
Oh.
Workers at Beastbreaker developer Vodio Games have just unionized, creating the first certified video game studio union in North America.
Nice. Nice.
So, all those things where we talk about all the like bad conditions in places like Activision or the crunch right across the industry and all this stuff. And the answer to anything when you've got bad conditions in your workplace anywhere, unionize.
Pizza. Wait, what?
No,
Pizza pie.
no, your
pizza
boss
pie.
buying your pizza is not the answer to bad conditions and poor pay.
Get your line manager to buy pizza for everyone.
Join the union, kids.
Okay. No, we want good industry standards, and if everyone unionizes, that's great.
It can only lead to good things, you know.
Yeah, so that's good news.
It puts a smile on my face.
I put a smile on my face.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm glad the fact that so. I mean, aside from my general sort of principles of being a filthy leftist, it's good to see
Woke culture, man.
But it's good to see like something like because I can't see how workers be working in better conditions, especially for something creative, could be anything but good. Because that's one of the things you create your best when you love what you're doing, and you're more likely to love it if you are treated like a good human being. Don't start.
I create my best off no sleep for 3 days and a lot of energy drinks. So I'm joking. I support this cause. It was
your no sleep last minute approach to university deadlines is not the model for creative employment.
Don't do as I do.
Do as I say and what I do.
No, don't do as I say either. Just don't listen to me.
So yeah, that's great. It's also, I've got to say, not a company or a game that I've ever heard of. So it's good that
it's got to start
spreading
somewhere.
into even places that are not big, well-known places.
Let's hope it does go into the AAA market soon, because it's rife at the moment and it's not great.
No, it's not at all. Not at all.
So it's positive news. Let's take it as positive news. Let's put a middle finger up to all the people who are being dicks, and
just put your middle finger up on cam. I can't believe you did that.
Outrageous.
Leave that if you want.
Sort of related to that as well. I saw on Twitter yesterday. This is relatively minor sort of news as far as it's an individual person, but I think it kind of is interesting anyway. So, a woman called Zaire, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, is just works in video game as a writer. She's just got a job at Naughty Dog.
It was
I
did see this.
Quite interesting because she wrote there was apparently a lot of people who said she'd never get that because she wrote this extremely critical article about the Last of Us universe and the way it treats black characters and all this sort of stuff. And as a black writer working in game dev, and like the need for better representation and doing better, which if you've not read it, is a really interesting read anyway. And I think it's something that it's particularly easy to not think about or not realise if you've not got that experience yourself. But I think the fact that someone in that position, being able to get a job for somewhere you've been extremely critical of how they've approached that sort of subject, and obviously that potential to enact some sort of change in the representation and everything, particularly from a writing side of it, which is huge because that affects how the characters will be portrayed and all this sort of stuff.
But that's always good. It's like you should be looking at the people that are criticizing you.
Yeah.
That's how you get better.
But I think this is the problem with the gaming industry, though. Like the fan base of the community is like you can't criticize critically. You can only shout and scream when you do criticize, and you can't say anything critical because when you do, it's bad and it's like those hurtful conversations need to happen, but people don't like having them, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like, wasn't it something
People
to do
see
with
it as... Sorry, go on. You first.
what? Yeah, sorry. Was the article was something to do with the way they were killing off the black characters to further the? I haven't played the games, but I've read the article, and it was like they were killing off the black characters to further the main character's story or something, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and they were like, doing it in quite like a bad way.
So, because it was essentially like with The Last of Us and The Last of Us 2, there's a lot of representation in terms of there's a lot more characters of colour in those games than you might see in many other games. But obviously, the main characters are white in Joel and Ellie in the first game, and then Ellie and Abby in the second. And because of the nature of that game, where basically everyone around them dies in different ways, and it's that furthers their story, which again fits in with that sort of brutal post-apocalyptic thing. But it's also noticeable that, like, you know, all these otherwise well thought out, well fleshed out black characters are then dying, so that the arc of the white characters can further and stuff like this. And then that which leaves is itself problematic because it's still, you know, you're not going to have that black character in the main role who's going to survive. The kind of thing the films had mostly got over to the point now where, you know, it's far less prevalent than it used to be, where that whole the black character is going to die first and all this sort of stuff. But it's still a thing. I mean, to be honest, even just thinking about any of the games I played, like even games I love, where there's black characters, they're always at best sidekick. In for the most part, I'm really racking my brains to think of one where that's not the case.
Walking Dead. Sorry, I was doing it when it popped in my head.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah.
Although obviously his fate at the end of season 1.
Spoilers. We don't bring that up. That's a sad moment. It breaks my heart all the time. Top 10 sad moments in video games. Oh, yeah, no, it's good. It's a good. I suppose it's a good thing to bring on people that are critical, because that's how you move forward. That's how you know. It took a bit of a different turn.
Yeah, I was all happy.
I know, Phil.
No, well, I mean, just to kind of round that off, I think the point that Lloyd said, I think makes a difference, because what I was going to say is about when you know, if you like and care about art, whatever form of art it is, whether it's books, films, in our case, games, and it is important to look at these things and analyze them critically, because, you know, if something's a half-formed piece of garbage that, you know, clearly has no effort into it, there's no point critically analysing it. But if something's really good, even a masterpiece, that's where it's really important to look at how these and to pull out the things that aren't done as well, the things that can be improved, the things that are problematic.
So this is how we improve representation, though. So, like, I'm all for it. Like, if they're going to bring in people that, like, it's good that they have brought someone in that is critical, because it you know, it is going to improve that story in the future. Because I don't know what they want to do with The Last of Us now. But like, if they're going to write a number 3, it would be nice to see, like, even if it's not the main character, but like the black character to return in number 4, for example. Do you know what I mean? Rather than just be killed off the further. I'm assuming whoever is it Ellie returns in number 3. You know, to further her story into it. It would be nice to see that character come in and build that bond, because as I understand, these characters are actually quite well thought out, and it's kind of like mentioning thing from Walking Dead, because like everyone loved that character. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's like, you know, I don't want to say too much because I don't feel like it's my place about playing the game. But yeah, it's definitely it's positive news. I think it's not a bad news to step off on.
Yeah, I think it's a willingness to look at change, hopefully, and because even the best things can improve, and even the best things can have huge problems that need to be addressed in them. So
100%, yeah, 100%.
Maybe it's a good sign for next year. You know.
Yeah, and hopefully we can talk about these things more and have them develop more without it being shouted over by the standard gaming conversation, which is just, my thing is good, yours is poo. Boo.
Yeah.
Level of gaming
it's an art form and it should be critiqued on a level, I think. I'm happy for that to happen. Otherwise, like things like reviews shouldn't exist, in my opinion. If you're not going to do that.
Yep.
100%. So yeah, that's my news. I
feel like I've let people down with the news.
What was your news?
There was no news. That's what it was.
Dale's news was that he watched the Nintendo Indie Direct, which quick plug. Obviously, if you're on YouTube, there'll be a little card pop in the corner. You can click that and watch our video on this. And if you're not on YouTube, then why the hell not? Subscribe to us. Come along and because we make great content, which is not all tangential ramble and bollocks like this.
Mostly.
Although that is also enjoyable. So yeah, that I think about brings us to the end of the show and to the year. So we will wish everyone Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you very, very much for listening and for being with us this far. We'll be continuing on in 2022, which isn't that far away now. There's only 1 week off. We'll be back on the 1st of January. So make sure that you've got us bookmarked in your favourite podcast or subscribed or followed on your socials or all of them. Just continue, just stalk us on every possible platform and inject us straight into your veins.
Make us your wallpaper so you never forget about us.
Yeah.
So a picture of me, Lloyd and Phil, great.
UnCapt Gaming, wherever you are. If we're not there already, then bug us to make a social in that environment, and we may or may not. We'll see. But yes, thank you very much for watching, and we will be back again every Saturday except Christmas with a new podcast, and throughout the week videos on YouTube. And we'll see you next time.
Have a lovely Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Have a beautiful time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.